On Friday last week, Joseph Kabuleta was arrested outside Drew and Jack's restaurant at Forest Mall in Lugogo as he prepared to go and preach.
So I stood up to go and use the washroom, which is just a bit, a few meters away. So now that's where there were all these other people who didn't even include the gentleman who had first approached me, who came and jumped on me and, held me, carried me, forced me behind into an Ipsam car with tinted glasses and with lots of guns inside.
Kabuleta says he was blindfolded and driven to the Special Investigations Unit in Kireka, where he was questioned for about 30 minutes.
They asked me why, what I have against the first family, why I speak all these things against them, what I have against the first son, why did I write what I did about him.
He says he was tortured and forced to apologize during his stay in detention.
They told me that I needed to first take a shower. They just got a pipe and drenched me in water until I was totally wet, and that was the shower. So then afterwards they stripped me to my underpants and told me to stand somewhere. And there was torture, because that gentleman who first picked me up slapped me until my nose started bleeding. And then he was taking shots, he was taking pictures of me in that state on his phone, and apparently sending it to somebody who I think wanted to see me in that state. One of the gentlemen came and said, "We have orders now. We are going to record an apology from you. And we want you to apologize for offending the first family, and that from now onwards you respect generals, especially General Mhozi, blah, blah, blah." The statement was written for me.
However, the spokesperson of the Criminal Investigations Directorate, Charles Twine, has refuted Kabuleta's torture claims.
It is therefore not very true that Joseph Kabuleta was tortured as alleged. And at the same time, if he still maintains his allegations, I would advise him to complain to the Inspector General of Police, and I would also ask him to complain to Uganda Human Rights Commission for an investigation.
During his detention, his family and lawyer piled pressure on the police to produce the former sports journalist in court. Yesterday, Kabuleta was released on police bond. One of the terms and conditions for Kabuleta's release on bond is not to engage with the media, but he says that is a tall order.
I'm a media person. The media fed me for 20 years, put food on my table. I'm not saying anything that is untrue, okay? So I felt that was an unfair. Of course, it was presented as a suggestion. Other than that, I just have to show up every time they ask me to.
Kabuleta, a pastor at Watchman Ministries, will have to report to police from Thursday morning as part of his bond conditions. WALTER MWESIGYE, NTV.